welcome to this weekend special edition, the Lifestyle Edit. This time around, we're bringing you the art special that talks about art, which is making headlines at the backdrop of the India Art Fair 2023. And what's making headlines in the art world? Let's tell you, Vaishnavi and I have put together a show that talks about all that is trending in the world of art. The biggest news has been art marrying artificial intelligence, marrying technology, and some fabulous works that have been created by Indian contemporary artists. The one that stands out of the pack has been The Impossible Bouquet by Raghava KK, Arboretum by Tukral and Tagra, and Varun Desai's Dimorphism. We had a chance to speak to Raghava KK and Tukral and Tagra as well about their works and how they are incorporating artificial intelligence now in the world of art. What is the future of NFTs and art going forward? Take a look at Vaishnavi and my special report. Cutting edge, provocative, fun, and most importantly, disruptive. That's Raghava KK for you. He is one of the most fascinating creators and thinkers in the Indian art space today, whose evolution is for all to see. From paintings, installations, film, iPad art, and now his latest work with tech and artificial intelligence has shaken up the Indian art space. Art marrying technology is at the forefront of most art summits and fairs around the world and is marking the evolution of art into digital and artificial intelligence, and not to forget NFTs.
Whenever artists meet for dinner, they talk money. And whenever bankers meet, whenever bankers meet, they talk art. That when NFTs became... Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Oh, you're most welcome.
That's love.
That's beautiful.
And I realize love is deep.
Can we do this again?
Wow,
Yeah.
I love it. Welcome people. This is a group chat. Thank you for bringing me back. I have a monkey brain.
And I was just wondering, how is it humanly possible to even create that? Then I realized it's not humanly possible. Exactly.
We dance between them.
Yeah.
We create magic.
Thank you, Nay.
Thank you, Maya.
Can we do this again?
This is magic.
Okay, so let's do it again. So Raghava KK, the name needs no introduction. We're going to cut straight to the chase. My God, how did he create such amazing stuff? I was blown when I saw it inside.
You want to know the secret?
Yes.
I didn't create it. I believed in it. And so many people came together to make it happen. The artists of today.
But the actual art is always you.
It is, but it's in conversation with reality, with all the binaries, beauty, mind, body, everything comes together. I ask a very simple question. Are we the Homo sapien, the monkey with the tool? Or did the tool create us? Did we create the tool or did the tool create us?
We created the tool, but now the tool is creating us.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly.
And I'm scared. This will replace me. I'm not an image maker anymore.
Why would it replace you?
It can't, because the spirit.
It cannot. Exactly my point.
That's the artist.
See? Exactly my point.
And so
it's never
let's
going to
make
replace
the spirit
you.
shine.
You know that box that you created inside, and I was sitting over there and I was just wondering, how is it humanly possible to even create that? Then I realized it's not humanly possible. Exactly. Then I realized it's not humanly possible. But even that is a creation of humanity again.
I wanted to surprise myself. I wanted to fall in love again.
And did you fall in love with yourself again?
I'm in love. There's no object of love.
And you know, you are one of the very few artists who really supports NFTs for what it is. Do you think this is here to stay, the trend, or it's very short-lived?
You know, the truest gift humanity has is our ability to believe.
That's
when you have more
true.
speculation than belief, that means you don't know why you're collecting NFTs.
But explain to me, for an artist, it's always going to be the true form that really matters, right? So whether you're a sculptural artist or an installation artist or a video or audio artist or somebody who works on canvas with acrylic or watercolor or what have you.
Those are mediums.
But isn't that always going to be at the core of the tangible art that we've always known?
Let me ask a different perspective.
Okay.
My perspective, you're right. That's how you traditionally look at art.
Yeah.
But my perspective is, art is an encounter.
Yeah.
It's like meeting a person. From a distance, I'm like, oh, what a cool, intellectual, smart, like compare kind of personality.
Yeah.
But when I get to know you, I may discover you also have sadness, you also have flaws, you also have memories.
Of course.
You know, then I can either judge you,
Yeah.
or I can transcend that and get to know the spirit that's living.
How beautiful. How beautiful is that?
And I'm saying that's what art is. It's an encounter. And the only judgment is, do I want to see you again?
Of course.
Do I want to meet you again?
And what's the answer? Oh my God. Oh my God, what's the answer?
You bet! We're having such a good time. This is supposed to be an interview.
Yes,
I'm supposed to be
absolutely.
serious.
Yes,
but
yes.
very seriously, we need to understand soft power.
Yeah.
India needs to understand its greatest gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just its brains and bronze, but also its heart.
The Impossible Bouquet by Raghava KK has been one of the most thrilling concepts in the Indian art market, with his creativity marrying artificial intelligence and all of that rolled into art that represents this state, these times.
It's a new language of being, it's a new language of art, and it's really, really important that everyone addresses. It's like saying there was a time when there were no photographs, for example. Photography was considered the low practice.
Yeah.
Or there was nobody using acrylic paint.
Yeah.
Acrylic was considered not the real paint.
Correct.
So it's different mediums, and I think this is a very important time in our history of creating art, so you can't ignore it. So for us, it's really important as younger collectors. I want to have the whole gamut.
The melange of man and machine, of possibilities and impossibilities, of being in love and its vulnerabilities, of color, compassion and all that in between. Raghava KK made the impossible possible, and he becomes one of the very few artists who breaks those boundaries and ventures into the realm of technology and multidisciplinary approach to creating works of art.
Anything contemporary for me is very important because it's tomorrow's modern and day after's ancient.
Of course.
This show is, yes, very exciting. Raghava KK with AI prompts and this whole idea of using, you know, the non-fungible space and creating artworks that are acknowledging this tech revolution.
Yeah.
So it's really, really exciting, and I'm always excited by everything, by the collectibles, the NFT collectibles, all the Discord conversation around all of this. So for us, it's exciting to have an artist who's doing painting and doing AI prompt work.
While Raghava KK's exhibit goes down in the Art X artificial intelligence history as one of the most iconic ones, interactivity is being well received finally in India. Another such was by a relatively new artist, Varun Desai, who created a similar work called Dimorphism, a concept of duality that explored the relationship between man and the machine quite aptly, done as an interactive audio-video art installation with interactivity at its core. The other established contemporary artists from India who have expanded in the realm of creation of multimodal sensory and immersive experimentation with art are Tukral and Dagra.
10 years back, we painted one series, not series, one work actually, particular work, it's called Arbor. So it was very close to us. So we took a picture, and when you see from a distance, it gives you a feeling of a tree. But when you go close and start observing, it has more than 100 icons inside. You have to find out whatever happening in these trees, in one particular tree. So when the second wave, the COVID started, so we were sitting with the people and just doing Zoom calls, or everything was online. Everybody adapted a new life of digital life, we call. So we have more than 2,000 pictures of ours, which we shared together, and we put it together in one folder. The name of the folder called Arbor, so which reflects our old body of works. And we come back to Delhi, into our studio. We start making we said we have to paint these only, because this is how it reflects this body of work.
Well, within the time, things have changed. You can imagine that when, I think at the Industrial Revolution time, the new, how things changed, and then, you know, the working capacity of a person changed into a machine build exercise. And I think this is where we understand that things will get outdated and new things will follow in. I think next 10 years or our future is looking into what is human made and what is machine made, in its high-speed changeovers, you know. I think that, and for artistic actually abilities, it is quite a question that what is the value are you bringing by applying a machine onto the exercise.
Their latest project is Arboretum, and rightfully one of the walls read, and I quote, "If a tree falls in the metaverse, does it echo and shake the earth? Do the birds cry in mourning?" Unquote.
If you see these works, some of them has eyes, like when you look at nature or nature is looking at you. So, or you are both being observed in the same way. But whenever you take a picture of a nature, it becomes a pixel for you. So the every picture you took, it has a digital cookies left behind it, like the geolocation or everything, the way it has been marked. So that if you go to the other room, you see that dataism in that, and then you find the one room is pixel nature, and this is all the trees which has glitches and the trees. So we have our personal stories of the trees, why that particular tree, why particular shrub, why that image to use the particular trees. So it was a very interesting part of our life to paint these trees.
I think an artist at this sort of a time needs to understand that it comes with the responsibility that you use a machine learning to apply what can help him or her building more communities rather than this is, I think building communities is the key here. I think what you can do with the high speed which you couldn't have done 10 years back. I think that's really important.
A strong social commentary always in whichever medium that they choose. They too have now forayed in the NFT space. Tech, art, NFTs, artificial intelligence, the biggest headlines in the art world today. In New Delhi with inputs from Vaishnavi Gaharwar, Chaiti Narula for India Today. Art around the world has always been a rather very powerful medium of social commentary and social change as well. Art fairs around the world today are looking at a lot of rebellious works which are also, interestingly, rather very interactive in nature for the ones who are either collecting or viewing those works. And one such artwork that caught our attention was the one by artist Rohit Chawla at the India Art Fair this time around that speaks about the politics of hair. What am I saying when I say that? It talks about how there is a rebellion against people who try to challenge women and their agency. Again, what am I even saying? Find out. Can we really untangle the politics of hair? This art campaign by artist Rohit Chawla comes with a social commentary. This rebellious work with an interactive element challenges those who try to corner women and their agency.
If you look at our history, you know, when it was, and you read about the Mahabharata, Draupadi faced the same issue where she was pulled by the hair. So it's not about being just liberated in a way where you just want to just do what you have to do, but the society has to give you the choices to make. So his comment is on that, which is called Hair and Her.
It makes you act, it makes you think, and most importantly make you ask many questions like, do we all secretly hair shave? Or how much of our self-worth is governed by hair? Or on women being shamed for facial hair, to different races and the systemic oppression of women's bodily expressions.
Hair is a metaphor of an expression. You know, when you look at a woman's hair, you know, you actually try to identify her personality through her hair. And that is what, you know, over the years, society has tried to curb. So now it's, you know, that is the metaphor that is used, and looking at what is happening in the world. And it's not only an issue that is to do with India, but it is a global issue.
Art has always been a force of social change, and this project aims to be just that and much more. In New Delhi with Vaishnavi Gaharwar, Chaiti Narula for India Today. For the ones who've been collecting art for years together, I do not need to tell you what progressive modern masters are or what their potential is or how Indian established or emerging contemporary art market is really doing and where is it headed. But for all you young collectors out there, whether you're Gen Z, whether you're millennial, you are young, so we are bringing you Art 101 in terms of explaining to you where the art market really stands so you can start collecting as well. So we have young Vaishnavi for the young collectors to tell you exactly a lay of the land of the Indian art market.
The art market is a force to be reckoned with today. While the market is unlikely to see the boom, it's a pre-global recession era. It has consolidated and is now showing steady returns. Modern art, especially the progressive modern masters, always hold fort despite of any economic headwinds. On the other hand, the contemporary art is a bit more volatile. Art is and always will be an alternative asset class, whether you look at it from a point of view of a collector, an investor or an aficionado. The position it holds in society is very powerful. It is the reflection of our changing times, just like the films. India has now caught on to the trends like audio and video installations, and with now artificial intelligence taking over the world, we see a lot of technology marrying art. I wonder if artists now feel they will be replaced by the artificial intelligence soon or not.
As an artist, I don't want to be threatened. I'm scared. This will replace me. I'm not an image maker anymore.
The Gen Z today is massively into art NFTs. Whether it is here to stay or not is a big question.
I would say they're looking for something that resonates with them. So digital art is one, AI is another. And of course, even within the contemporary art, they're looking for young artists that they can identify with, either in terms of their ideology or, you know, some connection with the artist.
Industry figures have now observed the growing interest from the Gen Z and millennial collectors. Not to forget the biggest headline of our times: art marrying technology, marrying artificial intelligence. So I'm a Gen Z and I can tell you with full confidence that we, the whole generation, are very excited for the art NFTs, for the artificial intelligence and technology. So if you are a young collector, just like me, with this broadcast, now you know the whole lay of the land of the Indian art market.
I'd like to start by saying pop goes the weasel, but that's not apt here. So let me just say pop goes the easel. What am I talking about? I'm talking about pop art. And when you think of pop art, the first name that really comes to everyone's mind is Andy Warhol. But hold on right there, the biggest exhibition of pop artists from across South Asia is underway at the Kirannathar Museum of Art in the national capital, and now global eyes are looking at pop art rather very seriously. So while your Warhols of the world still exist, take a look at Riya Modi's report on South Asian pop art. Popular culture. Pop art. For the uninitiated, it always somehow reminds one of Andy Warhol.
There were a number of shows that were done in the last few years that looked at the idea of global or international pop. And in these exhibitions, you had really an expansion of thinking about pop with respect to Eastern Europe, Japan, Latin America, but even in these shows, you never really had South Asia as being the focus. So I think this exhibition also attempts to speak to that conversation.
But now with its form getting the right push in India, global eyes are on South Asian pop art. The biggest South Asian pop art exhibit at KNMA, or the Kiranadar Museum of Art, is witness to works of over 100 artists from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, exploring multiple and diverse themes.
The demand for South Asian pop art depends on various factors, such as the popularity of the artists, the uniqueness in their styles, and the current art market trend. However, there has been a growing interest in the South Asian pop art, particularly among the art enthusiasts and the art collectors, who are drawn to its vibrant colors, bold imagery, and cultural references.
There is no one way of approaching the popular. There are multiple lenses through which the idea of popular can be decoded, can be deciphered, can be, represented. So what we see here is actually the very many facets of image making, and how a kind of image is borrowed from, appropriated, or transformed into to give a new, project a new understanding of the term popular.
The Western context of pop art looks at art that addresses consumer culture and media image.
The themes we identified a kind of a retake on tradition. So there's ways in which what we understand to be tradition itself became kind of, subject to change and modification through the printing press, through media, through urbanization. So the role of Ravi Verma's press, for example, in popularizing, images of divinities, but had a profound effect, as did cinema, the emergence of kind of cinema and print culture in South Asia.
But when you have over 100 South Asian artists showcasing pop art, you can witness art that communicates local capitalism, vernacular bazaars, large-scale industries, exploring issues of gender, identity, politics and borders. In New Delhi, with Riya Modi, Chaiti Narula for India Today. When we speak about Indian art as an alternative asset class, the biggest names that will come to your mind would be Francis Newton Sousa, to Raza, to Gaitonde, to so many other progressive modern masters, to Hussain, to other established contemporary artists like an Atul Dodia or Bharti Kher or Subodh Gupta. And while they are all fabulous and fantastic, as you already know, in their own ways and prove to be a collector's delight, there are some artists who are really standing out of the pack in terms of the social commentary that comes from their work. One artist that I spotted at the India Art Fair this year was an artist called Vikrant Bhise. He works a lot through communicating about the Dalit Panther movement in India, and his work talks about how we can all go and uphold constitutional rights in our country as well. Rather a very powerful force for change. Art has always been that for many, and Vikrant Bhise's work does exactly that. Take a look. There are some big names in the art world, like the ones from the progressive modern masters like Raza, Sousa, Gaitonde, Hussain, etc. Some collect them as assets, some as vanity, some for the snob value, some for the emotional appeal. They appreciate well and fetch returns. Same with select contemporary artworks. Then there is a whole pool of emerging contemporary artists who cannot just be viewed from the lens of valuations. One such artist at the India Art Fair happened to be Vikrant Bhise. His art reiterates his commitment to the revolutionary spirit of Baba Saheb Ambedkar. His work focuses on making powerful social commentary. The fabric of revolutionary times exuded. From his work, the call to action to uphold constitutional rights, to a social commentary on casteism with the Dalits in India, to depicting the landmark Rohit Vermila suicide case, the artist is working on a series on the legacy of the Dalit Panther movement in India. His iconography is informed and deliberate in radicality. A force of change to reckon with, Bhise's work stands out at the India Art Fair. In New Delhi, Chaiti Narula for India Today.